Stickies!
Welcome back to another fun and exciting episode, hopefully, of the Stick with Kaji Podcast. I'm Luann.
And I'm Sean.
What do you want to talk about today, Sean?
How about we talk about a difference between us? Because there are a lot of things that we're very similar, we think alike, but there's so many other things we're opposite of each other. So how about we talk about the different things?
Yeah, because, we've been married for close to 10 years. Next year will be our 10th year anniversary. And with our married couple, we don't always get along, right? I mean, if you do, it would be kind of boring. But I heard, apparently, according to statistic that I read on one website one time.
Oh, I didn't know you've been looking up for the statistic for marriage. Why would you look it up?
Look at us, we're already fighting.
Well, that's what we do. So it's not going to be easy. It's going to be really hard. Forever. You and me, every day.
Well, I'm just curious, doing some research for this video, it was saying that statistically speaking, couples who think alike or comes from similar background tend to stay with each other longer, like have a higher chance, I mean, we're both Asian, but my culture and his culture, I wouldn't say it's similar. There's lots of things that are different between us ever since the beginning of when we first met each other. So let's talk about them and let's see how we're able to work through our differences.
My husband found himself in a very traumatic shark situation.
Here we go. I know my truth.
Did you say I know my truth? Oh, boy.
So the number one thing that I would say how we're different is the way that we think. I think that I'm a very optimistic person. But Sean, however, I wouldn't say so. What would you say you are?
I don't want to say pessimistic. I think that's a bit too much. Maybe realistic.
I think so. Because every time something happens, right, I'm always thinking, it's okay, we got this. We just have to push it through, no matter what happened, we'll come out on top. But yeah, Sean is always like, are you sure? Always just bring me down a notch, and tells me all the scenarios that could go wrong.
I always like to think about all different scenarios that could happen so we can prepare for it. Yeah.
So I guess we kind of balance each other out more. We're yin and yang,
When you're opposite of each other, right? But then if you're married for 10 years, you start affecting each other, right? I started out as very realistic. I was more even pessimistic back then. And with Luann for years and years, now Luann started affecting me. And now I'm a little bit more spontaneous and a little bit more optimistic too.
Yeah, because before when we would go on trips, Sean, he still plans all our trips, right? It's like, hey, maybe our next trip we should go to Disney, right? But again, I have to prepare him for several months before. Now, I'm able to say, hey, in 2 weeks, the kids have a break. You want to go to the big island? And he would be like, oh, okay. And so it's just not like him. Right?
Or even I suggested too. Hey, next week, let's go back to the mainland. I think it's a good thing, right? Because you don't want to be in one side or the other side on an extreme way. So, I got a lot of good influence from Luann.
I don't know if it's good. I think it's just my upbringing, right? Because, I escaped my country when we were younger, and I was raised on a refugee camp. Again, if you want to watch those two videos, I'll put it up here and also in the description below. So my parents were very, very optimistic, right? They're always saying, it's okay. We just got to keep going and push through this. All we need is hope. So I think I just take on that persona, and think, well, as long as we're alive, we can get through anything mentality. So
that's good mentality. Yeah. For me, I was growing up with whenever I make a mistake or there's something goes wrong, and then I was always told, why didn't you think of this way? Why couldn't you predict this? So
what is the dimensionality?
Dimensionality equals the logarithm of n divided by non-excludable.
I started thinking this ahead of time, and that would really help me when I was working as an engineer, and even for this job too on YouTube. When you make a mistake and, when it happens, it's really obvious to anybody that you make a mistake, and sometimes the effect is too much. It's always better to catch your mistake before it happens. So predicting the future and preventing the mistake before happening, I think it's really helping on any YouTuber.
Do yourself a favor.
Put aside logic. Do what feels right.
The second thing, how we're different, is our food. I think
I have less food that I don't like. Because if you name the stuff that I don't like, I think I can name more for you.
Really?
Why don't you start naming that I don't like?
You don't like Dorian.
Dorian, yes. For sure. I hate Dorian. I'm sorry for those people who love Dorian. I do not like it. People say it smells bad but tastes good.
Oh my God.
It does not taste good either.
It is the king of fruit. Am I right? I grew up with it. I eat it all the time. I even put it on my smoothie. Love avocado and durian smoothie. Okay, I get it all the time. But it stinks up the house. So I get he doesn't like it. So
I can smell it from miles away.
So a lot of time I have to drink it and then I put a lid over it right away because, I don't want to affect Sean. But either way, it smells everywhere no matter what I try to do.
Yeah, what does that smell like?
Mold and mildew, that's what it is.
Yes. Dorian, yes. Anything else? That's the only thing I can think of.
Oh, wow. You don't like... There's one time we tried some sort of exotic food. I just can't remember. You said it was too exotic for you.
Pig brain?
Pig brain, yes. When I was sick, my mom always buy pig brains and say, "Oh, this would help
That's what
you
you
recover,
eat when you're sick?
Or this would help you get smarter." I heard pigs are really smart. Okay, but yes, I grew up with that, and I also grew up with. I know this is too TMI, so if this is disturbing for you guys, you should just
Oh, I know which one you're gonna talk about.
click a few minutes further. Okay, I don't eat it anymore because I don't even know where to get it. But I did grow up eating chicks that are still inside the egg.
I saw it and it was very horrifying. You don't want to see people eating that.
It's really good. It's like custard.
Yeah.
I see a hair and a fur and everything too. If I had to describe the visual to you. How does it taste good? I never ate food with a hair on it.
Well, it's different culture, right? That's the type of food that I grew up with. I'm sure there's type of food or animals that in your culture that you eat that other people find disgusting.
You can call me picky eater because I don't eat those things.
Yeah. But Sean would tell you what I can't eat that is pretty common among other people that they could eat, that they love.
The most thing is the cheese. And that was a little bit deal breaker for me. I love cheese. If you live in the US especially, pretty much anything has cheese. Sandwich, burger, like pasta. Any Italian food have cheese. French has cheese,
I'm sorry, guys. I never grew up with it, So I just don't like cheese. I'm so sorry. And even time people put cheese in salad and I just cannot eat it.
That's the worst.
Yes.
So there's some exception where Loanne actually eats cheese, pizza, and she also eats cheesecake, and she loves cheesecake too. But
I think it's very mild, right? Like different types
is
of
it?
cheese.
That's one big thing, right? And then Loanne doesn't like anything deep fried.
Oh yeah, I do not. There's lots of Japanese dish that are deep fried, and I just cannot eat those.
But Loanne likes eating KFC, so.
There's always exception to the rule, so.
Loanne also doesn't like eating chickens.
I mean, take a look at her. She's American, huh? Really skinny. You want to look like that?
No.
Then eat your nuggets.
Yeah, we talked about my childhood, how I would eat chicken all the time, so maybe I got tired of it. I don't know the real reason, but I'm more of a pork and beef person.
Got it. And Loanne doesn't like mayonnaise either.
Oh, yes. I don't like anything creamy. White sauce cream, I don't like it.
Yeah, so all the pasta too. Like she cannot eat carbonara because it's like cheese and cream stuff. So
the funny thing is, every time that we do go to an Italian restaurant, I always just get spaghetti. Like very basic spaghetti. And Sean always
sauce spaghetti, right?
Yes, and Sean always say, "Why do you get it? It's something I can make for you at home."
And I used to back in college. I used to make her pasta all the time. And you don't like oily stuff either.
Oh yeah, I don't.
When you go to Italian restaurant, a lot of times, before the meal they serve bread and oil with the black vinegar. Loanne doesn't like that either.
Yeah, I don't get it.
She doesn't understand why you're dipping it into the oil and the vinegar.
I don't get it. It just makes the bread soggy. I don't get it.
Usually the bread that they serve, it's hard. It's like it's perfect when you put it. But another thing. Sorry, I just thought about another thing Loanne doesn't like. So this is there's a restaurant I've been wanting to go in Hawaii, but I couldn't go because Loanne doesn't like those Japanese pancake stuff. It's called okonomiyaki. right? So it's thin layer pancake and put it together with the meat and the fried noodles and the egg. You don't like those, right?
I don't like it at all.
And takoyaki too. You've seen takoyaki.
Yeah.
It's those like ball shaped food. Loan doesn't like that. Oh, another thing.
Oh my gosh. How many is there?
Loan doesn't like this black sauce that it's always served in Japanese restaurants.
Is it black? It's kind of like a brown sauce, right?
Yeah,
you guys always use
demi-glace
it.
sauce. Yeah.
Oh.
So when we talk about sauce in Japan, that's that.
Sauce.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, people from Japan. There's lots of things I don't like, but there's also lots of things I do like.
Yeah,
so.
Loen likes natto, fermented beans, right?
Yes.
And Loen likes the pickled plum. So like weird stuff like other people wouldn't like, Loen loves it. The popular one is the one that Loen don't like.
I think I just like weird stuff in general. I guess it's part of my culture growing up. So
Yeah.
I like eating tongue.
Beef tongue?
Yes,
Yeah.
beef tongue. Have you guys ever tried eating chicken feet? I like to eat chicken feet. So yes, I like those weird body parts that often many other people just throw away. All right, let's go on to number 3, how we are different.
So ever since I was a child, I'm always a day person, right? I always wake up at the exact same time in the morning, usually early in the morning, like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and then go to bed around 9 or 10. And I kind of stay on the same schedule all the way till college. And Loen had the exact opposite of that. Loen, I was surprised how long she stayed up at nighttime.
I think naturally, I'm just a night person, you know? If I don't have school the next day, for example, I can stay up till 3 a.m., 5 a.m., you know, and I'm okay sleeping when other people start waking up.
And then the next day, you don't wake up until like 1 or in the afternoon.
Right.
And you'll be okay.
Yeah.
6 o'clock, Bob. Time to wake up. Come on, let's go. Cock-a-doodle-doo! Bob! Oh!
No matter how late I sleep, right? Like even if I sleep at 4 or 5 o'clock a.m. in at nighttime, I still wake up around 5 or 6. So it's just I have to wake up at the same time.
Yeah. It makes dating, I think, a little bit difficult at times.
It became obvious when we were in long distance when I went to graduate school in New York. There's a 1 hour time difference between Houston and New York. And every single time we try to watch a movie at nighttime, I fall asleep.
But now, you know, that I am grown up, I have kids now, so I try to adjust my time and sleep earlier and try to wake up earlier to get them ready for school. Snooze! No, I'm gonna go back to bed. Mommy, wake up! But naturally, you know, if I don't have any kids, if I don't have any responsibilities, I think I would just stay up till 2, 3 a.m. I remember one time in college, I was part of an organization and we were working on a fundraising event, and I was co-hosting with another person, and that person would call me at 7 in the morning trying to plan this event. And of course I was asleep, right? Because my class wasn't until 10 a.m. So I wasn't gonna wake up at 7. I was gonna wake up maybe at 9 o'clock, right? And he calls me and I was like, I didn't pick up. And so I called him back later and I said, I'm so sorry, I was still asleep. And he went and told everybody in the club that I was lazy because I wasn't up by 7. And I was kind of offended because, yes, I wasn't up by 7. But again, I wasn't asleep until, you know, probably 12 a.m. the night before doing stuff, you know?
Yeah, I think it's for college student lifestyle, I think it's okay. I think with the you have responsibility and you're working with other people with normal regular routine and schedules, I think that becomes that kind of thought, it becomes a little bit difficult.
Okay, but it wasn't as if we planned that meeting. It wasn't as if he was saying, hey, let's schedule a meeting at 7 a.m.
Yeah, I mean,
I missed it. It wasn't that. He just randomly thought we should plan a meeting and call me spontaneously.
Yeah, 7 o'clock, no matter what. I think it's a little bit too early to call anybody. Yes, but I think the idea, just the point is, I think just having the regular schedule would work in a society, right? Because a lot of people have 8 to 5 hours working time, and also kids go to school too.
Okay, I get that. But if I was able to still make it work within the time that I'm awake, you know, and still get a lot of things done during the nighttime when the kids are asleep, I wouldn't call it lazy. I mean, if I have a scheduled meeting at 8 a.m. or 5 a.m., you know, and I'm still able to get up around that time and do the things I need to do, right? What does it matter?
Yeah, I think that's fine. I'm just saying, I think as you get busier, you wake up at the same timing as me, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think it's a matter of lazy or not. I think it's just a matter of if your schedule is filled, I think you naturally wake up around that time.
You guys let us know what your thoughts on people who waking up early versus late. You know, what is your thought on that? The next thing that we don't agree on is the mentality of when we travel. I have a mentality of, oh my gosh, we're going to have so much fun, you know, and I'm like, oh, kids, you know, let's pose for a picture here. Oh my gosh, you know, I love what we're doing. It's so much fun, you know, let's go all out. But Sean has a different mentality of, you know, just...
This one, I think I have an unpopular opinion. So every time we go on a trip, I guess I wear a different cap, right? Unlike staying home, there's so many different unknown factors that I have to play around. And, you know, we're not typical family. A lot of people recognize Ryan, and we have little kids, Emma and Kay. They may or may not, you know, listen to us, you know, each time. So I'm always under the pressure that I have to make sure I have to bring my family to the destination A safely, and that's all I care about.
Yeah, so if you watch a lot of our travel vlog, you don't really see Sean that much, or he doesn't really talk that much during trips. I mean, when we're at the hotel, he's fine, right? But just the process of getting from A to B, that's where he's stressed out. That's where he's just not fun to be around, you know? I think one time you said you feel as if you're a chaperone, you know? Yeah.
And I think the worst always just time is always when we're at the airport. That's when I'm stressed out the most.
Oh,
there are a lot of people, you know, when you go out of the airport, there are a lot of cars driving by, you know, it just... I just can't. But I like going to trip. I just don't like the transition between places to places.
And I think a lot of time he probably gets annoyed with me too, because I have the mentality of, oh my gosh, it's gonna be so much fun, and he's like, hold Emma's hand. I'm like, I am.
No, you weren't holding. All the time, Emma forgets to hold their hand.
Well, because I know, you know, I know. I mean, I don't know, right? There's obviously outside factors, but I feel if I let them go for 5 seconds and adjust my bag or say something, they're going to be okay, you know?
Yeah, but, you know, I know enough. If I just tell Lauren, you need to hold their hand, and she gets upset. So I would say, oh, I think Emma's not holding the hand. That's not good. I would just say very indirectly, just giving Lauren a message.
I am holding their hands.
Everybody hold their hands.
I just let go for a second, just a scratch or something.
I hope that scratch is worth it. It's very, very important.
Yeah. So a lot of time, I think I also overcompensate too, because again, no offense, but going on trips, he's not very fun. So I try to make it fun for the kids, you know, and just try to joke with them and make them laugh, because daddy over here is so serious.
There's no time to joke right now. Let's get to the hotel. I guess I felt a little bit more relaxed. It was just Ryan. Emma and Kate kind of changed the dynamics. And also, having 3 kids is also different from having 2.
Yeah.
When something goes wrong, I can hold 2 kids' hands. I cannot hold the third one, and it really gives me anxiety.
Right. I get it, but that's why we're so good with each other. We balance each other out. You know, I think we're both just extreme. Growing up, you know, we didn't have a lot of money, so my parents, you know, never really took us anywhere. I mean, there was one time in 7th grade, they took us to Disneyland, and that was my only memory of our family trip. So for us to take kids on the trip so often, to me, it's a privilege that I never had growing up. So I get really excited.
I'm excited too, as much as it doesn't really look so. Yeah, I enjoy the trip. I like going to the trip, but just, you know, between place to place, I have to be careful. So
yeah, so now you know. Okay.
That's why a lot of the trip videos, I'm not really on camera. I have to focus on getting there safe.
Right. Somebody has to. So thank you for that. Another way that we're different is that the way that we grew up, right? So we grew up in a very different economic upbringing.
Yeah, and you know, we were born in a different country too, Japan and in Vietnam. So that's already different enough, and with different culture and history, but economic background because of that was also different too, right?
Right, and I really think because of that, that our personality or the things we do, you know, we don't always see eye to eye, or we just can't relate, right? You know, because I grew up really poor because, again, my family escaped Vietnam and we came over here with nothing, right? We pretty much had to start over. I was the kid who always had like free lunches, you know. My mom was on Medicaid, right? And I had WIC growing up, you know, food stamp sort of family. So for us, saving money was everything. So in high school, right, what we usually do is that when I go out and have a movie day with my friends or something, we'll buy a movie ticket and we try to watch 2-3 movies after that. Yes, I know it's not allowed and technically wrong.
So your friends were like that too?
Yes.
Oh, gotcha. I was confused. Why are we watching multiple movies in the same day? It's too much. But you know, when we got there, I found out, so we're going to just stay at the theater after first tickets. I got so nervous, right? Because not only just economic status difference, but Japanese people are very well known for following the rules.
Yeah.
And just for me, that's already, to me, it's a big rule breaking to me. Already just watching second movie with one ticket, it was way beyond my borderline. But, you know, I tried it. And I was very nervous. Another thing you taught me was the bringing food to the theater.
Concession stands are so expensive, okay? It's like $10 for popcorn or something ridiculous, you know, and $5 for a pack of candy that you can get from the dollar store. Okay, so in college or in high school, I was like, I'm not paying for this, you know?
So we started bringing food, and then it gets a little bit more and more. After a certain point, I had a sandwich, pre-snack, juice pack, and some desserts, and all in my bag. And then there's one time I got stopped by the movie theater person, and then he asked me to open the bag, and I had the food worth just feeding 5 people.
Okay, you're exaggerating.
No, I was so embarrassed.
Okay, I know you're embarrassed, but we did not bring food to the movie theater to feed 5 people among 2 of us.
I think 5 people could be satisfied with that amount. I think that was part of the like appeal, like your appeal to me. I was like, oh my gosh, she is badass. You know?
I wouldn't call it badass. That's just the way I grew up. I thought, I can save money by bringing my own food as long as I don't.
I thought I was a bad boy too. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm just sneaking sneakers into the movie theater.
And same thing. There's so many places that Sean never been to or eat. For example, Sean growing up have never tried Lunchables.
Oh yeah, I mean, I didn't grow up here. I came here when I was high school.
True.
I mean, not many high school kids would eat Lunchable, right?
True.
But you know, so Luann introduced me to Lunchable for the first time when I was in college. My mind was blown. I thought that was the best food ever in my whole life, especially the nuggets.
We're not promoting Lunchables. I'm just telling you guys what happened.
That's how I survived in my graduate school time. My main dish at nighttime is a Lunchable, the chicken nuggets. And I have to savor it because it's only 4-piece.
Aww.
And it's limited amount of ketchup too, so I just always have to just take each bite slowly and just finish it off with the Oreo.
Right.
I'm sure it's not good to eat often, but you know, every now and then I think it's okay.
Yeah. Okay, another thing that Sean never tried. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Ceces Pizza. Okay, when I was growing up, my parents would take me there all the time because it's all you can eat pizza for $2.99. Okay, it has salads there too. It has soup there. It's unlimited pizza. Okay, it's the best thing ever. And so in college, you know, Sean's best friend, he also had been to Ceces Pizza. And so we're trying to save money. We're like, where should we go? And Sean's friend and I was like, let's go to Ceces. And Sean was like, what is Ceces? My mind was blown. I was like, you never been to Ceces?
Now there are so many places I never been to until I met Luann, like a Walmart. I never been to Walmart until I met Luann.
How can you never been to Walmart?
I love you, Walmart. There's always a moment my dad tried to toughen me, right? Because I was growing up in somewhat wealthier neighborhood. So every now and then my dad drives me to sketchy neighborhood. And he dropped me off and he just tells me, okay, why don't you go to that food truck and then order 2 tacos. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go and grab the cash and go. So every now and then my dad gives me those kind of unique tasks.
What? wouldn't call it unique, or because I think your dad kind of grew up in the same sort of.
So yeah, my dad is the
Yeah.
first generation
Yeah.
growing up in the U.S. So kind of similar to you. Yes,
He knows
his
what it's
parents
like.
didn't have anything.
Exactly. Yeah, so he's trying to get you to understand, and get outside of your comfort bubble zone, But yeah, it's interesting because a lot of times where I talk about my childhood, right? And he didn't get it because he never been there, or there's so many nursery rhymes that Sean doesn't even know.
I didn't know any nursery rhymes. After Ryan was born, I started watching YouTube and started learning it.
Do you know Twinkle Twinkle Little Star?
Yeah, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Yes, I know.
But is it from when you're little, or is it because of Ryan?
Because of Ryan. I know the Japanese version. Down by the bay. What was that song?
I don't know the title. I grew up singing that song. It's like Down by the Bay. I'm so sorry for this part if you guys are here.
And then after a certain point, I was like, you know what? Maybe I could just sing him some anime songs. So I started singing anime songs that I know in Japanese. Ryan didn't care. But yeah, in the beginning, I had to learn so many different things. And a lot of times, I didn't grow up in here. So like those things that you understand what activities that Ryan do, I don't understand it. So I didn't grow up with it. So it's new to me. I mean, we're opposite in a certain way, but then sometimes there are a lot more similarity, okay? And we're getting along.
Yeah, we like playing games together, right? I like to hike. Do you like to hike? You do it with me, but I'm not actually sure if he likes it. Per se.
I like hiking. Yeah. That's another thing Luann introduced me to American TV shows and movies. I hardly watch American TVs until I met Luann. She introduced me to Big Bang Theory, How I Met Your Mother, Breaking Bad, right? Game of Thrones,
The best, am I right?
Battlestar Galactica.
I love Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, all these things. I started watching it because of Luann. So if not, then I probably never watched American TV shows.
Expand your horizon. Thank you. No, I'm just kidding. And you expand my horizons too. You let me try all these Japanese food that I love, that I would never try it if I didn't meet you, right? And you also show me things that I realized I didn't think differently. For example, the movie theater thing. I always thought, I thought everybody tried to do this. But I didn't grow up like how Sean grew up, so I thought it was normal. Air quote here, okay? So.
Are you sure? You sound like, psh, be cool.
No, I appreciate it. But yeah, I think we're going to end the episode today with the sticky word of the day, which Sean would take over today.
The opposite, right? We talked about today, things are opposite from each other. So we're going to talk about opposite. Opposite in Japanese, we say hantai.
Hantai?
Yeah. Hantai.
Hantai.
Yeah.
There you go. But before we end today's episode,
you want to talk about Vietnamese?
It's very embarrassing, but I actually don't know the word opposite in Vietnamese. Again, I came here when I was 6 years old, right? And the only person I really talk Vietnamese to are my parents and my family. So apparently that word never came up in my vocabulary because I can't even think of it.
Why don't you ask your mom?
I will ask my mom what that word is and come back to you guys and tell you on the next episode. Okay, this is very embarrassing for me. Okay. But if you guys know, if anybody out there who are Vietnamese,
so it's funny how because in my mind, Luann sounds very fluent in Vietnamese. I wonder what she sounds like.
I think I have a vocabulary of an elementary schooler,
Oh.
I mean, I understood everything in Vietnamese, but it takes me some time to talk, like I have to think about it, what words to say and how to say it. But yeah, before we actually ends today's episode. We're going to talk about what's new in Ryan's world. I mean, if you watched the previous episode, you know, but in case this is your first time here, okay, what's new in Ryan's world?
I want to show you this new game called Super Spy Ryan. It's a multiplayer mobile game where you can play as Ryan, me, and a bunch of the other VTubers in a toy collecting competition. In this 3v3 arena, you will not only have to use stealth, but some wild abilities too. Might I suggest the water balloon?
Is this a water balloon? Hey, haha. Oh no!
Can you unlock all the items and outfits and get the toys back from Pack Rat? Become a super spy with us and find out.
Oh, collect all those too. Nice.
We're gonna win! Yeah!
Parents, the Super Spy Ryan app is available on Apple App Store, Google Play, Amazon App Store, and Amazon Kids Plus. You can visit amazon.com/Ryan's World to learn more.
Super spies, raise him high! I'm gonna go finish the mission that I started.
So there you go. Thank you so much for watching this Stick with Kaji episode. If you like it, give us a big thumbs up. Again, you can listen to our podcast wherever you listen to podcasts.
And if you like this channel, please subscribe.
Yes, subscribe. Join me on Instagram at LoanneKaji if you want to know more behind the scenes stuff of what we do when we're not filming. And yeah, hopefully you guys have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for sticking with us. Whether you've been sticking with us through the years or today's your first day, we really appreciate it. And yeah, we'll see you next Saturday, hopefully.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye, Stickies.